Welcome everybody, and welcome to another exciting episode of Gravitalk, where I, the Graviton, talk about a new movie. Yes, the most recent movie to be hastily splattered across the silver screen, and that movie in question this week is, the third installment of the Hunger Games. The Mockingjay, the part one. And this week, I have another great addition to the supervillain community, helping me out. And this time, it is Amanda Waller.
Oh, come on. You're acting like I haven't been here before. This is my fourth goddamn time. I'm getting really tired of this shit.
Oh, yeah, sorry. I'm trying to figure out which kind of movie genre to stick you to help me out. I think we decided on totalitarian, futuristic, government type movies.
Well, then why the hell was I not at the Giver?
The Blob was taking care of that.
Well, it's too damn bad that he's not here so I can kick his ass.
Don't you have a relationship with him right now?
We're going on the rocks right now. If I so much as even hear his voice,
well, it's a good thing he's not here.
Psst, psst. Hey, Gravitalk.
What?
It's me, Blob.
I can't see you. Where the hell are you?
That's beyond your comprehension right now.
I don't understand.
It's no time to explain. I gotta tell you about a new movie I saw.
Is it a movie that I did not see?
Yep, it's a movie that I saw all by myself.
Yeah, Blob, I already told you. You can do that on your own show. You've got your own show on this channel. What's it called again? A few times of blobbing yourself or something?
It's called A Few Blobs of Your Time.
Yeah, that. Why can't you tell your review there? I'm kind of in the middle of my own review with your girlfriend, by the way.
She's fine. She doesn't mind. Look, I just saw this really awesome movie.
Blob, I don't care. I'm trying to review the movie I saw. The one that I've seen.
Yeah, but it probably is nothing compared to this one. It's Birdman.
Okay, fine. Whatever, Blob. Can't you review it on your own time? Besides, I thought I'd established that I'm not really a fan of those superhero propaganda films. Let's get back to reviewing this movie.
Well, we haven't even goddamn started yet.
Yes, we have not started yet, but let's do that. Alright, so let's talk about our history with Hunger Games.
Alright, well, I thought the first two were pretty damn good. Well, not damn good, but just damn adequate, if you know what I mean.
Yes, I think I understand what you mean. Yes, the first Hunger Games was pretty good. Second Hunger Games, I thought it was like either on par or a little bit better.
Okay, not really a little bit better, but let's compare them to this one.
Okay, before we do that, don't you want to give your overall thoughts on this one and how it does compare to the previous movies of the Hunger Games franchise?
Okay, well, I think that the first two were better than this one.
Okay, and care to explain why?
Because, unlike this movie, the previous two Hunger Games movies actually had goddamn things happening in them.
Oh, I see. You thought it was boring.
I have every right to think that. I mean, goddammit, not a single thing happened in this goddamn movie.
Okay, that's hyperbole, though. There were things that did happen in the movie.
Okay, fine. there were things that happened in this here movie, but not anything worth significant to make a whole goddamn movie out of. Yes, they devoted 2.5 hours to this. Okay, maybe not 2.5, but around 2 hours to, this. Yeah, and what hurts me most is that this franchise, when it was made as a book series originally, it was just 3 books. It was Hunger Games, then The Catching Fires, and then finally it was The Mockingjays. Yes, it was those 3. But now they gotta do this goddamn trend where they gotta take the last book and make it into 2 movies. They already did it with Harry Potter and goddamn Twilight bitches, and they're probably gonna do it to the Maze Runner. And isn't Avengers goddamn doing that? Well, the thing with the Avengers is that they're not based on a specific series. They're based on, like, decades and decades worth of comic books, some of which I've been in. Hey, don't be goating now. And also, goddamn Justice League is doing that. Oh yeah, that's up your tree. Goddamn, don't talk about my no damn tree. Anyway, so yeah, it was originally 3 movies. But now they gotta go and do that goddamn trend where they take the 3rd movie and they make it into 2 separate movies. Well, maybe it's because since this is the last book, it's so integral to the franchise that they feel like they have to adapt it exactly. They gotta put as much as they possibly can into it, but they can't do it in 1 movie, so they split it into 2. Yeah, there's that. Like, I think that's probably how they did Harry Potter. But there's the other reason why. Because they want to make goddamn more money. Okay, you got me there. I mean, look at those goddamn Hobbit movies. Yeah. Don't get me started on those. I have to do that next month. Fine, whatever. But this right here, this did not have to be 2 movies. This could have been just 1, easily. And the reason why is because not a single damn thing happened in this movie that warranted this own movie to have. This could have easily been the first act of the final movie, not just a separate goddamn movie. Yeah, I have not read the book. Me neither. I don't give a shit. I don't have no goddamn time. I don't have no goddamn hours upon hours. I just got 2. Just give it to me in 2, baby. Just 2. Yes. And but I can imagine that this you could easily tell from watching this movie that it was just meant to be half of a story. Not only that, but half of the 3rd part of a story. Yeah, it was just meant to be half of a book. And they took it and they stretched it out and did a lot of padding to fill in the blanks and whatnot. And goddamn does it show. There is just so much boring shit that happens in this here movie. I mean, in the first movie, it was the Hunger Games. It was all about doing the games. And there was setup. The first act was the setup to the games. The second act was beginning the games. And the third act was completing the games. And for the second movie, the first act was setting up that there's gonna be a big ass conflict. Second act was that the conflict was revealed to be another goddamn game. This time a lot of harder game. And the third act was them doing that hard ass game. Yes, that one had a bit of a different setup. And yes, I do admire them for doing something different each movie. And I understand that they can't do the games no more. No, the games are done. Yeah, even though it's called the Hunger Games franchise, they're keeping that name, by the way, just for name recognition. They can't do it these stories probably won't have games involved in them anymore due to the circumstances, because everything's been fucked up now. It's like, no games anymore. Now it's just wartime. This is war, goddammit.
This isn't a superhero propaganda film. This is like some kind of statement on current superhero films. It's a statement on it. It's satirizing them in this modern era we live in superhero films, while at the same time not being about the superheroes. That's not the main plot of the movie.
Look, I know this is very interesting, but I've got a different review to tend to. Why can't you do this on your own video? Why does it have to be on this one?
Because it's in the spirit of the film where an unseen force, and in this case it's me, is pestering the main protagonist, and he never acknowledges it, and no one else acknowledges it, but he knows it's there.
Well, fine. If you want to keep up this silly little activity of yours of reviewing the movie while I'm trying to review my own movie, then fine. Then go ahead.
Alright then, I will.
Ugh. But we don't get no war in here. We just get like set up to the war.
Well, to be fair, in realistic realism, the war is usually slowly set up. It's usually like a whole bunch of terrorist attacks or stuff that happens first, and then it leads to the war.
Okay, I can understand it. I can understand that being in a war can be like really long sometimes, and it's gonna and when it comes to war, there's probably gonna be a lot of times where nothing will happen, just absolutely nothing, and it's just build up to it, it's just waiting for it, and it's just doing surveillance shit and computer stuff. I can understand that. Okay, that's fine, but that does not translate well into a movie. If you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, the thing is that's not really entertaining for us, average moviegoers. We want some action. That's what we think when we think of wars. It's like, ooh, big battle, yay! And here it's like, a little bit of battle over here and a little bit of battle over there and nothing.
Like that. This is what I mean. The first one, it was set up and then the games. In the third, in the second one, it was mostly set up, but then the game was so badass it made up for it. And this one, it's all set up. It's all just a build up to another movie that we don't get until another year from now.
Yep. That's pretty much what it is. So are you ready to fully dive into it and actually do a recap of it?
Fine. Let's just break down this shit so we can get it over with.
Okay then, let us start. So, we begin the movie with Katniss waking up from another horrible dream from the events of the second movie. And she wakes up and she begins like recapping the previous movie. And we're like, thank you, Katniss, for recapping the previous movie for us and for some of those who didn't see it.
Yeah, she pretty much thoroughly listed to us the gist of the previous movie, so we don't get lost behind.
Yes, very, very thoughtful of you, Katniss. So anyway, she wakes up in her holding cell.
Nah, I think it's just some kind of goddamn bedroom or something.
Yes, well, so anyway, she wakes up at some place. I think it's at the Resistance.
Yeah, it's like the Rebellion from Star Wars.
Yep, she's at the Rebellion. She meets a black guy, but this isn't the same black guy from previous who like helped her out with stuff.
Nope, that brother died. Very sad. Damn it, why did they have to get rid of all the brothers?
Well, let's hope this new brother doesn't die.
Hey. Only I get to call them the brothers. You understand?
Okay. So the sister, Katniss...
No, you can't do that.
Well, she's the same race as me.
It's not the same goddamn thing.
Okay. So Katniss, is now, assisted by this new black man. Hopefully this one doesn't die like the previous, black man who helped her out. They go down this giant-ass elevator shaft, where we see, all the fellow rebellion people, against the government, because the government is led is led by evil President Snowman.
Yep, President Goddamn Snowman. And President Goddamn Snowman, he is an evil bastard. He's got all. He's like ruler of a totalitarian government in this dystopian future where the rich is rich as fuck and the poor is poor as fuck. But what's different about real life and this is that in the movie, not like in real life, hopefully. In the movie, you can do whatever the fuck you want with poor people. You can kill them. You can make them like fight each other in gladiator battles for food and whatnot. And this is why there's a goddamn rebellion happening.
Yes, Viva Revolution! So anyway, so the resistance is trying to use Katniss as the face of the rebellion, as the face of the resistance against President Snowman, and she has to be all pretty, and she has to, and they have to set her up.
Yeah, that's very interesting. That was kind of a thing that was brought up a little bit in Captain America, but here it seems to be more fleshed out. Is the idea of propaganda and whatnot, and them trying to use that to their full advantage.
Yeah, that's usually when it comes to movies, war movies specifically, the idea of propaganda is brought up, but not that much. But here they use it a lot, like bringing up that lesser known aspect of war is propagandaing and advertising and making it look good for the public.
Yeah, but So they let her go with the brother of Thor,
Liam Hemsworth.
He will have always been known as the brother of Thor, though.
Sometimes he's known as Loki.
Well, whatever. So anyway, she and Liam Hemsworth go in this big ass jet, and they go back to her homeland.
Yes, her home district, where she finds out that everything is in horrible ruddle, and it looks like Pompeii and Auschwitz combined. All these cremated and horrible, like, burned up skeletons and stuff.
Yep, they look a lot like a whole bunch of T.J. Millers from the end of the 4th Transformer movie.
Yep, just like T.J. Miller from that movie. All of these burnt up skeletons. Also this dog, like, who's rummaging around skeletons because it's probably like a paradise for him. Because it's all bones.
So she picks up her pussy and then she leaves her house to go back to the resistance where they show that her family is safe and sound.
Yep. Her mother is fine, her daughter is fine, and then not her daughter, that's not her daughter, that's her sister. Her little sister, don't know what the fuck her name is, but yes, and then she gives her sister her pussy, and the pussy is perfectly fine.
Yep, even though that pussy has been through a lot of shit, Katniss managed to keep her pussy in tip-top condition and is safe and sound and not damaged.
Yep, that's a very durable pussy. So anyway, after the pussy talk, Katniss has a meeting with the leaders of the rebellion, Juliana Moore
and Philip Seymour Hoffman. God rest his soul.
Yeah, let's hope he's resting that soul instead of keeping it like being on heroin. I'm sorry, that was in bad taste.
You goddamn right that was in bad taste. God damn it. Won't you have some motherfucking respect for the dead?
Yeah, it's a little kind of sad seeing him here, but it's like, it's good to it's good that we're seeing his final, performances. So anyway, yes, here we go. Philip Seymour Hoffman, and Philip Seymour Hoffman is giving it all because he is alive at that time and not now.
Would you stop being a goddamn downer about it and move on?
Okay, so anyway, they make negotiations with her because she wants her to be the leader of this force. They're making negotiations with Katniss for her to be the leader, to be the face. So that that the other district slaves have an idol, a role model to look up to. They want a hero, and so they look up to her.
Yep. And they make her like be in commercials and shit. And you know, like green screen her, and Philip Seymour Hoffman is like the director and stuff.
Yeah, he calls it like action, and he's very stressful about it, and mean, and pushy, just like a real director.
You're not gonna end up in showbiz with that remarks now, Graviton.
Sorry, but yes, and during this time, someone is not amused, and that not amused person is Woody Harrelson. Yay, he's still alive, I guess.
Also still alive is Elizabeth goddamn Banks. In the first and second one, she was all fancy with her dresses, looking like Lady Gaga, and now she looks like she got some rags on her, and she's being like held hostage by Philip Seymour Hoffman, but she's actually just a prisoner of war or something. I don't know. It's just some kind of contrivance to get her back into this story.
The movie, Birdman, begins with a falling star. Okay, first it doesn't begin with a falling star. It begins with a quote, a famous quote for something. I don't know. And there's always this drum solo happening. It's like the main score of the movie. So anyway, we see a falling star, and sure, it's kind of on the nose because yeah, we get it, falling star, because it's about a washed up actor. We get it, movie, but it's actually a lot more profound than that. It's kind of like a trickery. It makes you think that it's going to be that simple, but it isn't.
Okay, fine, this is all very interesting, but I'm trying to do this thing with your girlfriend, and she's gonna know, and if I tell her,
Please don't tell her, just let me keep going.
Fine.
Okay, so anyway, so then the movie starts with Michael Keaton. And Michael Keaton is like levitating, like you. Like I would have assumed that you would really like this movie because, much like you, it is also about a guy who can control, who can pick up things with his mind. In this case, he's levitating and he's in his underwear, and you see some side buttocks, and he's being called via Skype by his daughter, Emma Stone, and it turns out he's in the middle of producing this play. He's directing it, he's writing it, he's starring in it, and his agent, the main producer of the play, is Zach Galifianakis, not Val Kilmer, sorry, I always get him confused with the other Batman. Michael Keaton has to dress up and tend to his play. And the thing that you notice right off the bat about this movie is that it's edited in a way to make it seem like it's all one consistent shot. That the entire movie, well, at least most of it, I mean, there's cuts to when you see, you know, the fallen star, among other things, wink wink hint hint, but most of the movie is supposed to look like it's all one entire shot, following Michael Keaton among other characters, tending to this play, trying to get it off the ground and ready to be produced, but then one of the actors has to go and be hit by a light, so he gets replaced by Edward Norton. And Edward Norton is like he's like a method actor. He's a Shakespearean type actor. Well, not Shakespearean, just really eccentric, and like he's willing to strip naked and show his big beefy flabby butt to the camera when he's being fitted, and he's all like flirting McFlirt with Emma Stone, and first like, ew, gross, but she turned legal like 8 years ago. It's fine. So anyway, yeah, they're having their own subplot, and there's a few subplots, you know, like Zach Galifianakis just really wants this to be produced. Naomi Watts is in the film, and she kind of gets raped by Edward Norton, really fucked up, really horrible, but apparently that doesn't faze Emma Stone. That's also more fucked up.
So Woody Harrelson, Elizabeth Banks, Julianne Moore, Philip Seymour Hoffman, and And finally, the black nerd who, in the second one, I really was putting to survive. I was like, oh god, is he going to survive? He's a very intelligent black nerd because he knows that because he's black, that means he'll be more likely to die. So he like makes a deal with Katniss. He's like, okay, look, Katniss, I know that you're the star of this movie. So if you can make sure that I am kept alive, I will help you out. Like, very good, very strategic.
Yeah, a very strategic brother. But, in this movie, it is revealed that after he got his ass electrocuted at the end of the second one, apparently it made him crippled.
Yeah, that was kind of a downer. It's like, I'm glad he survived that electrocution from the previous movie, but it took its toll on his body, and now he cannot walk.
Nah, it's fine. All he does is just computer shit and stuff. That don't require no legs.
Yeah, I guess so. So anyway, Crippled Black Nerd is there in the meeting, and they're figuring out like how to make Katniss look marketable. And Katniss like, God damn it, can't you see I'm dealing with problems? I'm looking at the news, and I see Stanley Tucci talking to my ex-boyfriend, like, or my current boyfriend, I don't know, who I'm like into right now, Peter.
I hate Peter. I mean, there's such hypocrites like they try to fuck up humans just for treating animals not up to their goddamn quota, or like, oh, you can't treat the animals like that. Like, goddamn it, if I want to eat a big ass steak burger, I'm gonna do that.
I think you're talking about a different Peter, the Hunger Games Peter, Josh Hutcherson Peter.
That Peter. I'm sorry. That little white boy.
Yes, the white boy, who is having an interview with Stanley Tucci, and Stanley Tucci is looking like a clown as always.
Also, this is the only time I think we ever see Stanley Tucci.
Yeah, he's not there for that long apparently. Like, that's kind of disappointing, but that's okay. We'll probably get him more in the fourth movie.
Do you think he's gonna get his comeuppance, like he's gonna get his ass stabbed or something in the fourth movie?
Maybe. I mean, he has kind of had it coming for the last few movies. But anyway, after that small cameo from him, we see that Josh Hutcherson, Peter, has become like since Katniss is the face of the rebellion, Peter is the face of the government, of the empire that President Snowman has established.
Yep, he's a goddamn traitor.
Well, that's the thing, is that Katniss knows that he's not. He's being forced against his will. He's just doing it to survive. And so because of that, she still has faith in him, and she'll only lead this rebellion if Peter is released and given back to them.
Yep, but first she's gotta be introduced to the new goddamn crew she's got.
Yeah, she's introduced to a new task force. She's got a blonde chick from Hunger Games. She's got some Latino face jewelry guy. She's got some other guy, and she's got Foggy Nelson.
Yep, Foggy Nelson.
Well, not John Favreau Foggy Nelson.
No, this Foggy Nelson is a mute Foggy Nelson. And it's gonna be the one that shows up on Netflix Daredevil show.
Yes, that Foggy Nelson. So anyway, this mute Foggy Nelson is, he cannot talk. Yeah, that's kind of sad, but that's okay. He can do like facial expressions and hand signals.
You know, they're establishing a lot of new characters, but they don't do any goddamn thing with them.
That's okay, they're like a camera crew. They're like a movie crew. You got like your camera operators and the half-bald blonde chick from Game of Thrones is like the director. She's trying to make Katniss look all good and presentable, and they go like see this big ass hospital full of poor people, and Katniss gives them hope, and all the others are like supportive of her, and it's very emotional. It's very heartwarming. It's like, oh, but then they all die. Like the entire hospital gets exploded.
Yeah, this is finally what we got here for. Some actual war action. There's drones coming and they're exploding and shooting at them and shit.
Yes, it's very dramatic, and Katniss takes them down with one arrow.
Now that is epic. That is some Joan of Arc shit. But here's the problem. Once it's done, we have to wait so many more hours for any other war action.
Yeah, afterwards, everything is dead. She's like, tells, the slaves via the cameras from the camera operators about what happened, and then it's like, several more half hours of them back at the base.
Yeah, this is why I don't like this, okay? This is supposed to be a war movie, okay? War action. I know that there's more to war than just the action parts in a real life, but here's the thing. This ain't no real life. This is a movie. You can just skip to the action parts. You don't have to just keep dwelling at the boring shit.
Maybe it's to make you appreciate them, it builds up to them.
Nah, it's doing very bad building up if you ask me.
So anyway, so during the non-war times, Katniss goes spend some quality time with Liam Hemsworth in the woods, and they see they see a moose. They see Musala. That's a reference to something, and she decides whether or not to shoot Musala, but Musala don't give a shit because he simply doesn't care. So she's like, hey, if he doesn't give a shit, what's the point? And then she goes back to the district she used to be at, and there's the rubble again and whatnot.
God damn it, we were already goddamn there. This movie is so boring and repetitive that now it's going to the same places it was before. We already saw her rummaging through her past district before. Now she has to do it again.
Yeah, still a lot, not that much action. Then they go camping, and then mute Foggy Nelson tells her to whistle to a bird and sing to it, and that singing is caught and by the camera operators, and it goes viral. It becomes a viral video.
Yeah, and it inspires a whole bunch of low-class slaves to go with these big-ass crates and sing that song and march towards this big-ass dam.
Yes, and they explode the dam. They bomb it because they were inspired by Katniss.
Yeah, but that's one of the only action things that goddamn happen.
Yeah, there's also the action scene with the forest where there's a bunch of slaves running there and then climbing onto the trees via, Rise of the Planet of the Apes style, and then bomb them and stuff. There's that.
And also, that reminds me, a lot of these big-ass action scenes, the main characters don't even have anything to do with.
Yeah, especially the final one. But we'll get to that later.
No, let's just speed this up. I'm getting really tired of this.
Okay. So after the slaves bomb and sacrifice themselves after destroying the dam, that causes a blackout for all the rich people. Oh no, the rich people are screwed. And this angers President Snowman. So that makes him, put Peter back on the news, and Peter decides to show mercy
most of the movie, you know, it's centered around Michael Keaton because, you know, he's just trying to produce this goddamn play, you know? It's like a statement, like I said. It's trying to talk about, it's trying to satirize, you know, how we perceive former famous actors. Like we judge them way too much on stuff, on even to every single little bit. Like people, like all he wants to do is just adapt this play from a book he liked. That's all he's trying to do. But everyone keeps judging him for it. They're like, oh, he has something to prove. He's just doing this to prove himself, to make him still relevant. There's this mean reviewer this critic lady who has like a stick up her ass, and she's like criticizing him before she even writes anything, that she is going to destroy it. She's going to destroy the play because he's just trying to be relevant, because his heyday, the most famous thing he did was Birdman, which is a fictional superhero movie made a long time ago, probably the 80s. And we all know, of course, that this is supposed to be satirizing Michael Keaton doing Batman. Yes, so what better actor to use that's kind of based on Michael Keaton than Michael Keaton? And it's really genius, if you ask me. Great casting, great, it's very aware of itself, this movie. It's very meta, if you will. It's very meta, that it knows what it is, it seems. And it's talking about, what's going on currently. Like, it's talking about how Michael Keaton is looking down on Robert Downey Jr. because he's doing his Iron Man films, and we see Spider-Man once, and you know, it's like commenting on how the modern film industry is right now. That we are just trying to pump out familiar character after familiar character, mostly superheroes, and that the art is considered dead, like actual films, like people wanting to do just, you know, regular films. And in this case, Michael Keaton's play he wants to get off the ground. And people keep judging for him. It's like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. If he does do another Birdman, then people will be like, oh, he's just selling out. But if he tries to just do the simple play, people will be like, oh, he just wants this, he's just doing it because he doesn't want to be like everyone else. You know what I mean? It's like a double-edged sword. But he tries to persevere despite all the shit thrown at him, such as Edward Norton being crazy as fuck, you know, stripping naked, raping, almost raping, having a hard-on, criticizing that they don't use an actual gun, and that comes back to haunt them, by the way. You know, and a lot of things getting into Michael Keaton's way, like there's one part of the final rehearsal. Like each time they do a rehearsal, it just gets shittier and shittier. You know, things happen. Like the first rehearsal they did, you know, that guy got hit with the lights. The second rehearsal, Edward Norton like broke character and like ruined the play because he's like, oh, I want some scotch, goddammit. And the third and final rehearsal gets ruined because Michael Keaton is accidentally trapped outside in the back alley of the place, the Broadway theater, and he's half naked. He's in his underpants, and so he has to run to the front of the theater in his skimpies in front of everybody. Everybody is shocked and surprised because either A, he's a famous person who used to be Birdman, and B, he's a half-naked guy. But he makes it through because, you know, he's Michael Keaton, and he continues with the play because it just so happens that right when he enters the theater, it's right when his part is about to begin. So he does it, and people are like, "Wow, that's a weird method to do that." But yeah, he does it anyway, and you know, he uses a fake gun to kill himself. You know, have practical effects make it seem like he shot his brains out and stuff. But you know what? It's good, even though that, you know, critic I brought up is like threatening that she will 100% end him. That this will not happen. This player is going to be destroyed by her because he's just trying to be relevant. And this makes him sad.
He decides to show that he isn't a douche now by warning the rebellion that President Snowman's empire is gonna goddamn bomb them.
Oh, great. Finally we get to see some action.
Well, yes, this is an action sequence, but the only action happening is them evacuating the place. No fighting, just evacuating to a safer part of the base, while the other part gets destroyed, but we don't even see the destroying happen.
God damn it. Okay, well, it's still an action scene.
And we see her try to get her sister and try to save her, and the sister was like trying to save the cat, and it's like, the pussy, sorry, we broke that recurring gag. I mean, she's trying to save Katniss's pussy, and Katniss like, look, I know I have a great pussy and all, little sister, but that doesn't mean you have to risk your life for my pussy. But she's like, oh, I want to. So they go and get it, and then they hide in a safer part while the bombing is happening, or whatever the hell is happening.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what was happening there.
Anyway, so they're in hiding, and it reminds you of Auschwitz. It's very visually stunning and stuff.
Yeah, it's good representation, but it's still boring as fuck.
Yeah, it's so boring that Katniss has to resort to playing with her pussy, and it's like, come on, Katniss, stop playing with your pussy. Your pussy's probably exhausted. So after she's done playing with her pussy, they decide, the leaders of this rebellion decide that they're gonna finally do something.
Yes, finally, some goddamn action, some goddamn fighting.
Nope, not fighting, a rescue mission. They're gonna go rescue Peeta and the other hostages.
Oh, okay.
Yes, and that guy who may or may not have been gay in the second one uses a divergence, or not a divergence, a distraction by filming him because Katniss is too emotional right now.
But that's okay, she gets slapped into reality by Woody Harrelson.
Well, not actual slapping, because that would be assault.
Whatever. So anyway, so now we get to see her be a goddamn hero and save Peeta.
Nope, it's not her. It's just Liam Hemsworth and a couple of other guys, like SEAL Team 6 or something.
Wait a minute, them? This is what I'm talking about. It's like the only action scene in this goddamn movie she was involved in seemed to be the one earlier with the drones and the hospital. It's like every other scene is just like other people being in the action and her just waiting to do shit at the base.
Yeah, it's like they keep talking about her being the hero and being the big action leader, but she's not doing action things.
Yeah, just one thing, just one goddamn thing, and then everything else,
nope. Yeah, that's kind of disappointing.
Yeah, so now instead it's her ex-boyfriend, Liam Hemsworth, brother of Thor, going and doing the shit himself. Going down this big ass building and with his like SEAL Team 6 and trying to get Peeta and the others.
But then we see that President Snowman is like, oh, I knew you guys were fucking with me, so I'm gonna do something bad. And we're like, oh no, what are they gonna do to Liam Hemsworth?
Oh man, I hope this is where we get the climax.
Well, apparently that was the climax.
What? That didn't even feel like no climax.
Nope, because we already have an epilogue right now. Because now Liam Hemsworth has arrived safe and sound, and he has the hostages.
Yeah, he's got that redhead that is reunited with that guy who may or may not be gay.
Yeah, and that confirms that he is not gay.
Bullshit, he's probably bi, or at least a metrosexual.
And also they got and they also got that that sassy lady who stripped naked in the second one.
Wait, she stripped naked?
He was off screen.
Oh, god damn it!
Wait, are you bi?
No, no, shut up. Anyway, yeah, they got her to.
Yeah, it's weird because I don't remember her being bald. She's like bald now. She wasn't bald in the second one, I don't think. Like, did she have cancer? Oh no!
But the third one we got is goddamn Peter. They finally got Peter.
Yep, they got Peter, and he's malformed now. He's all malnourished. He's all skinny, and his eye, he has like rings around his eyes.
But it doesn't matter because now they're finally reunited. Until he beats her ass.
Like, holy shit! Yeah, that was unexpected. Like, it's like he's like this little skinny thing, and he looks like frail and defenseless. But then he tries to kill her.
Yeah. He tries to choke her to death.
Until he is knocked the fuck out.
Yeah, you got knocked the fuck out, Peter, by a brother.
Yes. And so now that Peter has been knocked out, Katniss wakes up in a neck brace.
Yep, she's in a goddamn neck brace now, and her eyes are all red, and she's all fucked up now.
Yeah, she's injured, and it's like bad because it's like, oh no, like now she can't do more action sequences.
Yeah, that's a disappointment. I mean, she already didn't do that much action in this movie already, but now she's like debilitated. She's like all fucked up and stuff in the neck.
Yeah, and it's because Peter has gone feral.
Yep, apparently they brainwashed Peter.
Yeah, it's kind of sad. It's a little emotional because it's like, oh no, they traumatized him. They beat into him the idea of Katniss being scary, being horrible and scary.
Yeah, when did they have the time to do this? Because this seems like this would take a long time to do. Like when did President Snowman's men like had the time to brainwash his brain and whatnot? I mean, he looked like pretty sane and normal when he was like on the news, but then all of a sudden he's like all feral and crazy and mindless. It's like, how long did this take?
Probably long enough. It's the future. They were probably are probably a lot more quicker and more productive to do a lot of brainwashing on him. But the point is, yes, they brainwashed him into seeing Katniss as a complete threat. It's like caused him to bring out his animalistic instincts.
Yeah, and then to add insult to injury, they end the movie with Julianne Moore telling everybody that there's gonna be a big ass battle finally. Too bad we don't get to see it.
Yeah, she says it's gonna be tomorrow.
Yeah, for the characters, they're gonna get the new movie in a day, but for us, the viewers in real life, we don't get it till another goddamn 365 days.
Yep. Ugh.
Yeah, and during this time, neck brace Katniss gets up to check up on Peter, and Peter is still fucked up in the head.
Yeah, he's still all animalistic and whatnot.
So, yep, that's the goddamn movie.
Yeah, that's it. That's how they ended on. They ended on animalistic Peter.
You know, when the first one ended, it ended with a little bit of hope. And that's how you should end a movie. The second one ended with a big-ass cliffhanger. You know, Peter is disappeared. Philip Seymour Hoffman is a good guy, even though you thought he was a bad guy. And this was all aroused to get her to be the rebellion. That was a great way to end this. With this, no, this is not a good way to end the movie. Just because, Peter is all like murderous now against her. It's like, oh, boo-hoo, my ex-boyfriend wants to kill me. Please, Katniss, do you know how many ex-boyfriends of mine want to murder me. Come on now.
Yeah, it seems like a weird way to end it, but it does like set up stuff, you know, it is a better way to end it that way.
And then he is haunted by the disembodied voice of Birdman, of the character he played that made him famous, that now, looms over him literally, and throughout most of the film, we don't see Birdman, you know, the Birdman in his head, until right near the end, where we finally see the imaginary Birdman. Although it's kind of ambiguous, the movie kind of makes it ambiguous as to whether or not his telekinetic powers are also real, because like you see him always use telekinesis when no one else is around. So you're like, does he really have superpowers, or is he just imagining that? And then he flies, but people think he's about to kill himself, but no one seems to notice that he's flying, so I guess he's imagining it, because when he gets back into the theater to do the opening night of the play, a guy runs after him wanting money to put in his cap. So I guess apparently that flying sequence was just in Michael Keaton's head, and in reality he was just taking a cab ride. But that is settled apparently, or not. Maybe the taxi driver just gives up. But so opening night, Michael Keaton is about to finally do the opening night of the play. He's about to do that routine where he shoots himself and there's practical effects, but he uses a real gun, and he refuses to use practical effects on the wig. Yep, he shoots himself for real. He actually shoots himself, and everyone's applauding, and they think it's like all part of the act, and you don't see them like realize that he actually shot himself for real, and they just keep applauding and admiring him. And then that's when the movie makes its first cut, or second cut. The first cut was when they showed the falling star right at the end, and then cut to this consistent, really long, ongoing shot, or at least it was edited to make it look that way. Like that's how Alfred Hitchcock did that with one of his movies. What was it called? Was it called Rope? I think it was called Rope. Yeah, with Rope, he tried to make it look like it was all one shot, but he couldn't actually make it one shot because that's fucking impossible. So that's kind of like how they did it this way. They edited to make it look like it was one shot, even though likely it wasn't, but it was still admirable. It was still an ambitious thing to do, even though Alfred Hitchcock did it decades and decades ago. Anyway, but yeah, so anyway, they do their first cuts of, cutting to the falling stars again, and then cutting to dead jellyfish for some reason, and then cutting to, people dressed up as familiar superheroes on the stage. I guess it's supposed to make a statement, like I said, about our current love for superhero movies right now. And then it goes back to, the format of just one long cut, and this time, Michael Keaton is in the hospital room, and, apparently he didn't shoot out, the gun wound was not fatal, he missed his brain, and that's actually foreshadowed at the beginning of the movie, where, when they were acting, the first part of their play, they mentioned that some guy, some friend of theirs, was trying to kill himself, but missed. And that's exactly what happens here. He tries to shoot himself. He tries to kill himself with a gun, but doesn't. And Zach Galifianakis is all happy because that critic I mentioned earlier that had to stick up her ass. It turns out she liked the movie because she liked the play. She loved it because he almost killed himself. She was like, oh, that's good acting if you're willing to shoot your brains out, apparently. And yeah, it seems fucked up, but you would be surprised like how parallel that is with real life, that if something like really out of the ordinary, really weird or fucked up happens in the media, people actually like it because it's new and different. And and so Galifianakis Galifianakis is like, this is gonna be the greatest play ever, and Michael Keaton's wife is like, dude, he just almost died, show some respect. So then they leave, and there's paparazzi and stuff, and because of shooting off his own nose, Michael Keaton is now given a new nose, but first he has like a bandage across his face, and it looks like a bird mask, get it? I mean, I'm sure it's probably on the nose too, on the nose, on the nose, but, it's still like, I still think it's like a subtle statement, that he needs to come to the terms of the fact that he'll always be Birdman, no matter what. Like Birdman is always going to be with him, as shown with Birdman taking a shit in his bathroom.
It's not too anticlimactic is what I'm saying. There are still stakes that have been risen up now by this development. Fine, yeah, I guess so, but still, I just didn't find it necessary for this part of the book to be stretched out into a movie. This should have been just one movie instead of like stretching it out. Yeah, but at least it makes you at least it's like more build up to the fourth one. But at what cost? At what cost? I guess at the cost of us feeling like we watched the movie then, huh? Yep. Doesn't feel like we watched the movie. It felt like we watched like the first part of a movie, except with the same amount of time as an actual movie. Yeah, it's like watching the prologue, but the prologue is just as long as the movie. Yep. And it was basically all set up to a movie that we don't get for another goddamn year. Yeah, I guess that's a little disconcerting. But are you still looking forward to the fourth one? Hell yeah, so I can know what the fuck happens. Yeah, so we can finally know what the fuck happens. A quote from Amanda Waller. Don't you dare quote me, son. So, how did you feel about this film overall? How do you feel about it? I feel like it's unnecessary as fuck. Okay, the first one was good, the second one was pretty good too, but this one, this should have been just combined with the fourth one as one movie. We did not need two movies, just one. So I am going to say that I'm no sir, do I like this. Well, I still thought it was entertaining at times. Just not enough, I don't think. So let's rate the movie. Do you prefer to do you think that the people at home should either watch this movie or get your tongue cut off so now you can't speak to your best friend Daredevil? I think that a better experience is getting your goddamn tongue cut off than watching this goddamn movie. Because this movie, oh my gosh, we kept waiting for shit to happen and it never did. Or it did, but too far in between. Just not goddamn enough. Yeah, the trailers made it seem like it would be big action after big action. And it wasn't. It was like a minimum of 4 quick action sequences spread around in a 2-hour movie. So how do you feel about it? Well, I'd say that I would prefer watching this movie than getting my tongue cut off so I can't talk to my best friend Daredevil. And the reason why is because it's still necessary. This is still required viewing if you're going to watch the fourth one, I feel. It's like it does have setup. Even though it may not be entertaining per se as a movie should traditionally be, it's still a good setup. It's still a good build up to get yourself pumped for the final installment of Hunger Games. Yeah, I guess that's a way to see it, but I still stand by my verdict. Okay, so now that we've given a verdict, I guess that means we're over with the show. Yep. Over with the goddamn show. So see you guys next time on the program where we will celebrate our 1 year anniversary. Great. A whole year of shit. Yes, and what better movie to review that during than the one that is a direct sequel to the one that this all started in. That started this whole thing. You guys know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'm sure they do, and I'm sure they got like big enough bladders to take care of it, because they're gonna need big bladders to make sure they don't go to the bathroom during this long-ass movie you're gonna review.
Yes, so look forward to that, I guess.
And then he sees birds fly out of his window, and he's like, and then he jumps out of the window, and then Emma Stone comes, and she looks out the window because she's afraid, oh no, he's killed himself, and then she looks down, and you can tell from, and what you can perceive from her facial expressions when she looks up and looks happy is that apparently Michael Keaton flew away. He flew away with his bird friends because he has come to the terms that he is Birdman, and he's gonna fly away, goddammit. And you know, it's kind of an ambiguous ending because the whole movie, you know, is letting you on, like, it's making you wonder, like, does he really have superpowers? Because, you know, it shows him like use telekinesis when no one's around. Is that really happening, or is it all in his head? And apparently Emma Stone can see him fly away, so that kind of implies that was all real. He really can fly. He really is Birdman. Either that, or she has become just as delusional as he is. But those are the two possibilities. I prefer to believe in the less bleak possibility. Just like with Life of Pi, or Big Fish, or Life of Pi. So it's kind of like that. It's kind of like that kind of movie. You know, realistic fantasy, like borderline fantasy, borderline realism, that kind of thing. Anyway, so that was Birdman. My overall, really loved the movie. It was, it really had you think. It really forced you to think in a different perspective. I kind of like those movies, you know, that are different than your run-of-the-mill films. And, you know, and at the same time, it commented on run-of-the-mill films, you know, basic blockbusters, and daring to do something different that isn't blockbuster material, like just doing a play. So that's what I thought about the movie, and you know, it reminds yourself that you know, it's nice to have blockbusters around right now and watch all of them and enjoy them, and that's all good and fun. But you know, like every now and then, just sit down and watch like a lesser known project, an art house type project and whatnot, like Birdman. And so that's how I rate Birdman. I give it 4.5 out of 5 cups of scotch. The reason why I didn't give it a full-on 5 is because there were points where I was like a little bit. There were times where it was kind of like having trouble keeping me interested. Like I was like thinking about other things, but it would always, you know, like get me back to the story and whatnot. Like it did have a little trouble talking about you know, keeping my attention, because there was a lot of talky stuff. But the thing is, this movie even comments on that. You know, that Michael Keaton shouldn't do just talky things, that he should do the big action stuff. That's actually commented in the film, and I just realized right now. So the fact that it addresses that problem that average moviegoers usually have with these types of films, I'm gonna give it a 5 out of 5. A 5 out of 5 cups of scotch. So that's my review, and I believe that you should end this review in the style that Birdman ended.
You do what?
Yes.
Okay, look, Blob, I'm glad that you like the movie and stuff, and I'm glad that you think it's not propaganda and that it's the opposite of it's like addressing propaganda and whatnot. But does it actually show it in a negative light?
Well, no, not really. It just, addresses it and doesn't really show it as a negative type thing. Just as, acknowledging that that thing is what people prefer, but that's perfectly fine.
Okay, fine, whatever. Yes, I get it. I have powers just like Michael Keaton. Or maybe I don't, because that is ambiguous in the movie. Can you please let me continue in this review?
No, you heard what I said. You should end this review in the style of this movie. Just like how I end my reviews in the style of the movie I review.
No, I will not.
Do it!
No!
Do it!
No! Get the fuck out of here, Blob! Get out!
Okay, fine. But don't say that it wouldn't be a good idea to do that, since my movie probably sounds more appealing than yours. Am I right?
I'm making no comment.
The fact that you make no comment means that I am right.
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up! See you guys next time here on Gravitalk.
I gotta call my boyfriend again.
You didn't hear him during this time?
Whoa, what the fuck are you talking about?
I could have sworn I heard him this whole time. He told me not to say anything, but yeah, he's been interrupting this interview.
Oh no, he's doing that again? God damn it. He already did this one time when we were in LA. God damn it. I'm gonna call his ass up.
Oh, okay. Now excuse me while I fly away.
Oh my god, he flew away. Oh my goodness. Oh, wait a minute. This isn't actually that much of a surprise because he has gravitational powers. So why the fuck am I surprised by this? I shouldn't be surprised. This is the norm. God damn it.